Hey y'all, it's Renegade, and it's once again the time to spill more reality because the time has finally come, y'all. The RuPaul's Drag Race multiverse has finally birthed its final form, and it's a worldwide infinity war for the ages. Global All Stars is finally here, and tonight's podcast is going to be much like our All Stars 9 and Canada versus the World 2 coverage, where we're going to be doing a deep dive into all the goops, gags, and global glamazon glamour of the two-part season premiere, Global Talent Extravaganza. But before we talk about this much-awaited premiere, I can't do this alone, and with us tonight is our resident Drag Race expertise, as well as the owner of the International House of Pancake Makeup. It's Quacker Jack. Jack, tonight's premiere was sort of a monumental occasion in the Drag Race franchise, because while we've had Versus the World seasons before, this is the first true global All Star season, which puts 12 of the world's very best queens against each other. How are you doing tonight? And did the season premiere live up to all of its hype?
I am thoroughly impressed. I am enjoying this so far. I love the split premiere, how it gave us this ability to really focus in on six queens each episode, but yet we still got runways from everyone. Some of my favorite parts of the show. So like it's so good for me. And I love that we have way more representation and it's not just a Canada versus UK versus America kind of thing.
I love this premiere personally as well too. I felt they did so many things right, at least with this initial presentation here. We'll see what happens later on when the judging starts to actually happen. But we get to some specifics here soon. But I think the thing that they did best here was to really introduce us to each and every one of these queens. And for the most part, it felt like screen time was relatively equal, I'd say, for the most part. Which was a huge feat since I'm sure most people do not watch a vast majority of these seasons. I mean, me myself, I've been introduced to at least half of these queens prior to the cast announcements since I've seen UK, Canada, Down Under, France, Italia, and España, even though we did not get any España representation here, which is such a shame. And when the cast was announced here, we actually started a Philippines watch in our Discord, so we're still in the process of trying to get through that. Um, but after tonight, I think everyone is going to want to watch all of these seasons. Jack, before we start, what is your expertise and your experience with the international seasons, and how familiar with these queens were you before they stepped out onto the runway for the first time?
So I've seen obviously the four English countries speaking. Like you said, we've watched Philippines first season now, so I'm aware of Eva. I watched the first season, I believe, of France with you as well, so I know Soa de Muse. But everyone else, I really don't have much knowledge upon. I haven't watched a lot of the international seasons yet. Um, but I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised by a lot of these queens because when some of them were describing their drag aesthetic or like what their drag scene is like back there, I was like, oh, okay, that's very different than like I guess what I've seen in American Drag Race server. But then a lot of these girls came prepared on the runway. They were not joking, so I was very happily surprised.
And don't you worry, Jack. I'll try to give at least from my best expertise here a little bit of background for you and the listeners out there. Um, Based off again my limited knowledge in Google here. Um, but let's not wait any longer here because we have so much content to talk about. This two-part premiere is packed, and we could start, I guess, where it all begins with all 12 of the queens walking the main stage for the first time in front of Rue, Michelle, and Jamal in their opening ceremony, Eleganza. And I want to give a deep dive into most of these looks, but honestly, there's 36, looks here at this time. Especially for the girlies who are probably going to come back and listen to the podcast for a reasoning behind the rankings that we post every week, in the shorts. I'm sure they're going to come back and want to really listen to why we're giving these looks here. But you know what? 36 looks is just it's just tons of content to get into. So I think Tao's a good time here to start a brilliant new lightning runway category segment we're going to call snaps or slaps. If we like it, give the queen a snap. If we don't, they get a slap. Sound good, Jack?
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna attempt it for sure.
We'll see how this goes, right? We'll start out with the first look here for the first queen. Belgium's Athena Likis. For a snap, it's an interesting look. Cute.
Definitely got to give it a snap because I don't think I fully understand all the references, but I love the little headpiece and I love the boots. I'm not sure about all the color combo, but maybe it's something I'm just not seeing. But snaps.
Yeah, I think the color combination is a little off for me as well too. I agree, but I like the poof. At least she carried the poof all the way through. I think that was great. Brazil's Miranda Lebrão, which I can't believe. How many different names did Ru call her night? Miranda, Shamana Fana, Banana Fana, Ding Long. Snaps. I love this look. I think this could be my favorite of all of them. I love the creativity of it. And the fact that she is literally like a painting and has a kite. Is this like a famous painting? I don't know. If it is, amazing job. Snaps. Snaps from Miranda all around.
So definitely a snaps. This has a lot going on, and I was like, "Whoa!" because I didn't fully get it at first. But when I saw like the bottom of the dress, I was like, "Oh, I'm so dumb to not like get this reference." And I was like, "Okay, this is great. This is the kind of like creative, kind of campy drag that I was like hoping for." So definitely some snaps.
We have Canada's Pythia, which snaps. I mean, Pythia is always going to be one of my favorite fashion queens, without a doubt. She always has such an interesting take on everything here, and she's always such like a fashion devil. So I feel like she does what Teresa May kind of wishes she can do. No shades, Teresa. She's catching strays in this. Sorry, this is supposed to be quick. Snaps.
Wow, the shade, the snaps. I like this vampire like medieval I don't know if it's UK or French inspired kind of look, but very cute, very red and white, representing her country, and the ears and everything. Very, very Victorian, very snaps.
And we have from Down Under, Queen Kong. And I gotta be honest, this might be my first like kind of slight boot here. I gotta just kind of rate it against everything else here, and I don't know if I really like it as much with everything here. And I don't know. Just off of just quick looks, I'd say slap.
I like a lot of elements here. I like the focus on things, like the stars throughout, and love the shoulder off the arm sleeve here with the detailing, but it's got to be a slap, unfortunately. It's just not high enough for what we're expecting.
We have Francis Soa de Muse, and so excited for Soa here. I have a huge snap for me here personally. I love the concept here with the fact that she has her hands with the bracelet all around her dress. I thought it's cute, covering up the naughty bits. Just it's sleek and cute fabric or cabaret look, and I love the hair. I love the jewels in the hair.
Definitely some snaps, the jewels, the hairpiece, the piece in the back that matches the hairpiece. It's a very fun look. I kind of wish the arms had gone further down on it as well, but again, like it's a good look. It's probably around middle of the road for me, but it's a good look. Snaps for sure.
Then we have Italia's Nehellenia, and I'm gonna, I didn't, I'm going back and forth on how I feel about this one. Is there something in the middle here? I don't completely want to slap her, but I don't completely want to snap it either. You know, I'll give it a snap. I like the fact that the looks like she has like her boot that she's carrying as a purse, and that's cute. I just don't get like the blue part that sticks out of it. It's a little random, but I'll still give it a snap, light snap.
I want to snap the hair and I want to snap the purse. I like the like inside of a chocolate bar material metallic that we have going on, but this whole thing together is a no for me. It's got to be a slap. It's just not good.
Okay, you went there. Maybe I should have just slapped it. It's fine. I already gave her a light slap. I'm fine with it. Then we have from Germany, Miss Tessa. Are we gonna call her Tessa T? Are we gonna give her her full name? Should we just go
Let's
out?
give her
Are we gonna
full
do it?
name.
Let's
Tessa
do it. Okay, Miss
Testicle.
Testicle. Miss Testicle. And you know what? I love this look actually. It was in the running maybe for one of my favorite entrance looks, but I think I like a few others a little bit more. But I still love the idea of her being just a flower with the petals, and the petals are just really cute. We've seen this look kind of happen, I think, a few times on the main stage, like Nymphia's Banana, I think most recently, but still love the idea of the concept, and it's well executed, so I'll give her a snap.
Definitely a snap. One of my favorites of the night. It's a flower. I love the whole blossoming concept. She looks great, and I love that she did the poopy white feathers right on her bodice. Like this is good. This is all good. We get the concept. The execution's great. It snaps.
And from Mexico, this Gala Varo, and another one of my favorites of the night here. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. Just the whole dramatics of all of it, and then the colors of the flowers just all look so good together. Like she just looks so good. Snaps, huge snaps.
Huge, huge snaps for Galavara. It's one of my faves of the night as well. I love the hair and how it drapes down into the dress as well. And just, I'm a big fan of flowers when done correctly and they don't look like too cheap or anything like that. And the amount of tulle and just like over the top, like she's got a shape going on, regardless of if it's your favorite shape or whatever. It's a good shape. It's planned this way. Snap, snap, snaps.
Mm. Speaking of shape, Miss Eva
Oh,
Le Queen from the Philippines, and oh my God, I love her body shape in this. I love the gigantic sleeves, which I love the cultural references here. I think this is one thing that we're gonna be eating so well here for the season for these runaways is all the cultural references. I almost wish this was a non-elimination season because I would love to see what a lot of these girls are gonna end up doing for a lot of these categories here. But um, huge snaps here. Looks so good with all the pearls. I kind of wish maybe there was a little bit more that kind of extended down further into the dress, but slight criticism because overall this she looks so stunning here. Huge snaps.
I gotta reiterate, huge snaps. The shape here is so well done. The way that she has these like completely these shoulder pieces, the draping, and then letting it go into a very flowy dress and a train and everything. That purse or whatever it is she's carrying, like snap, 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 snaps, all snaps.
And then we have Sweden's Vanity Vain, and I feel like she doesn't cinch. I kind of wish she did a little bit. That's the only thing taking me out of this, because otherwise, I like what she has going on here. I love the wig. I think that's the huge selling point of this whole outfit, and just the sheerness of the outfit just looks good. I don't know what the concept is, but I enjoy it. I'll give her snaps.
I like the hair. I like the concept. I don't love this execution. I have to give it a slap. Unfortunately, this is just it just is a green dress. I like the shape of it, but it's not well done. I mean, I like the shape of what it could be, I should say, but I love the shoulder part and I love the little arms. I just think there's so much else here that could have been done. So it's a slap, unfortunately. A light slap, though.
I'll give her a light snap too. I enjoyed it. I don't mind it. Then we have from the UK, Kitty Scott-Claus, and for Kitty, I don't mind it. I think she looks cute. She's giving me Spice Girl, Queen of UK realness here. Kitty said she's gonna bring the glamour. Um, I don't particularly 100% feel like I'm into Kitty's aesthetic 100%, but for what Kitty does, I don't mind it. So I'll give her a snap.
Definitely gotta give this a snap. I love this look. The details are really well done. It's a little simple, yes, but I think the details really bring it out. You know, the white gloves, the little shoulders kind of matching the metallic throughout, and the the huge like peplum kind of skirt and the shoes. It's got to be a snap for me. It may not be the best look, but it's definitely a snap.
One thing I left out too, I love the socks. I don't know why. Just like
Yes.
schoolgirl, they're cute. It's good, a cute detail. Then finally, mother of all, Alyssa Edwards from the United States, and I give her huge snaps here for this. Alyssa always looks so good, and I love her wigs. The gigantic hair that she has that's reaching God in every moment here. She's so close to God every single time she hits the main stage. I love the way that this outfit looks. She's giving her best USA realness here. And I love that the fringe also kind of like bracelets, like wrapped around her arms. Like I think that's just a really cute detail. Snaps.
Definitely snaps. The wig is like 4 or 5 wigs together at least. It's huge. I love big hair. I love a pageant girl. I'm usually not a red, white, and blue fan. I'm not that patriotic, but this is definitely a sleigh. I love the asymmetrical look in the front, and then the train down the back. Great snaps for sure.
Jack, I have to ask, who had your most standout look of the opening ceremony Eleganza?
I'm gonna have to give that to Eva Le Queen. I think she really ate with this structured piece and then into flowing. Like it's something so well done. It's something so complimentary to see like two different styles done and just like fused together so well.
Eva, I had very high, but I think my favorite was definitely Miranda. I love this look. It's giving me the whole Gottmik art inspired runway without like the whole headdress part. It's so clean, and I love, and I'm so excited for what Miranda's gonna bring here. I know there was a lot of judgment, I think, on her promo look, which Jack, I kind of want you to kind of talk a little bit about it because we enjoy the concept, but I think there's just something about the execution of it that just maybe wasn't up to par, which I think here on the main stage we greatly enjoyed, but that promo look,
So the promo look of hers was specifically an issue for me just because I felt like it was a nice green dress over like a soccer patterned bodysuit, which was well done. Let me say that first of all. But I just felt like everyone else was there to play a sport and she was not there to play said sport kind of thing. And I was like, how are you gonna compete in that? And also it's the shape of the head for me especially. I get that whole alien thing, and I'm really over that right now. Like I've really seen it too much. And I feel like it's just not original. And I'm not saying everything has to be like 100% original or perfect, but it's that like if you're gonna do a lack of a hair piece, please do a head piece of some kind. So that's the only issue for me.
yeah, I do think it looked a little like if we're gonna do soccer, I think even I wouldn't mind it if she even came out looking maybe like a soccer ball with her head being like the shape of a soccer ball. It just felt like a kind of like egghead when you have like a soccer ball theme. I don't know, but you know what? So excited for this cast here. They're all bringing it here on the runway for the most part, and I'm very excited to see what else they're gonna do here. And we still have two more categories to get into later tonight. But because we learned here that our two-part premiere with our 12 international queens will be split into two groups of six to compete in the Global Talent Extravaganza, but there will be no eliminations to allow us time to really get to know the girls. Instead, the top two from each group will lip sync against each other for $10,000 and the first wins of the season. Now, I personally love this idea because there are so many queens again to get to know here for people who don't watch too many franchises here. But and I'm already inspired to go back and watch Mexico as soon as we're done with the Philippines, as well as like Brazil and amongst others here. Um, Jack, what were your thoughts here on this initial opening twist on how they were split, and which season are you most inspired to go back and rewatch now?
Um, I was really, really excited to see this like split premiere, but after watching like both episodes and seeing everyone, I want to watch Mexico so bad. Like that is the season I need to watch. Like I need to watch all of Mexico immediately.
I know, right? We need to go back and watch it right now. I think Mexico 2 might be in its finale, or if it just finished right now. I don't know. Kind of sad we missed coverage on that, but maybe we'll pick up Philippines and get into Philippines sometime. Who knows? But let's kind of talk some a little bit of drama in the workroom here. I wouldn't say really drama, but just kind of some discussions that took place here. The first was the fact that again they're split into two different groups here. The first is Belgium's Athena Likis, Brazil's Miranda Lebrão, Australia's Kween Kong, France's Soa de Muse, UK's Kitty Scott-Claus, and the US's Alyssa Edwards. Now, do you think there's advantage to going in the first group versus the second group? And for the drama that kind of happened a little bit later here, do you think the first group was a little bit more stacked compared to the second group?
I don't think you can say that either group was necessarily stacked because almost all of these queens are finalists or people who place extremely high in their seasons. So I don't think that it's fair to say that one group was more stacked than the others. And actually, I think we see a great divide here. The only difference is one thing they talked about that might be a big um, deciding factor is like who can speak English easier, for some of the upcoming challenges and if that will matter. But I do feel like this first talent show has a lot of talent in it. I think the second talent show has just as much. I don't think it's stacked against each other. I think it was just a random draw.
Yeah, I feel like what was at least nice about how things were separated here, and at least what I think the producers were thinking when they separated these groups, is because, and this kind of references the next big topic that they had going in here, is the fact that the majority of these queens are being judged by Rue and Michelle for the very first time, while as others like Alyssa, Kitty, Queen have all had full multiple seasons for Alyssa in this case. Um, in front of Rue at this point. So um, it doesn't surprise me that all three of these girls ended up in the first group. It feels like to me, it's like, okay, well, here's the selling point. If you had watched any of the Rue led seasons already, well, they're in the first group. But as we know, kind of in past other seasons here, at the end of the day, this is Rue's show. Rue decides what's happening here. So do we think this is likely going to lead to some biased judging for these three queens in particular, since they already know Mamoru? And honestly, at this point, it feels like these three got a lot of focus in the edit, specifically. So uh, I kind of get the feeling that these three will probably, I wouldn't necessarily say pushed by production, but we're going to say pushed by production. Jack, do you have any thoughts on this matter?
I could definitely see a little bit of push or favoritism, especially like for Alyssa. I think as someone who's been judged by RuPaul more than once, there's a familiarity there. They have a rapport with each other, but the other queens do too, right? Like some of the queens do have a rapport with RuPaul already as well, and I think that maybe that makes sense why these three were in the first group. But I don't think that necessarily means for sure they're gonna get like extra praise. Now, one of the judges of the talent show maybe was a little like maybe I guess the overall decision in the talent show for the first one might have had something to do with that. But overall, I don't think that the outcome of this talent show in any way was messy judging.
Yeah, ultimately, I think that the right people were probably given the win here. I could definitely see cases maybe for a couple other people. I was a little shocked for one person in particular, but I think after looking back at it, I can kind of see the reasoning as to why. But, you know, one thing I was gonna really say here that kind of brought my attention, at least in Alyssa's case here, like especially during critiques, Rue was getting like choked up of saying how proud of her she was. So it definitely makes me feel like there will be some slight favoritism here. But at the same time, though, too, I do think Alyssa, Kitty, and Queen are all extremely talented queens. So I don't think it's going to be a situation here where if they do ultimately receive wins, that it's going to be anything that would be controversial. I feel like they're probably, whoever is going to get the wins here are probably going to earn it. I don't see it really being that questionable here. And just because they are farmers at this point, don't mean that a few of our dark horse picks along the way here can't possibly, come out of the woodworks here to snatch the crown, as they like to do here. At the end, they like to surprise us. So who knows? Who knows, y'all? But either way, what a collection of extremely talented girls here. Let's get into the first part of our two-part talent show premiere, starting out in the order that they performed in Group One, starting with Queen Kong. Now, if you don't know Queen Kong, again, she comes from uh, the Down Under franchise season two, where she tied for second and third. She has two wins in the Makeover Challenge and the Girl Group Challenge, as well as two bottom placements in the Acting and the Advertising Challenge. So, I do think Queen will be someone who does well in the performance aspect. A little worried for her when it comes to maybe acting and comedy style challenges, but when it comes down to who Queen is as an individual here, you could definitely see where a lot of her inspiration comes from, especially in her runway package. Being that she's of Pacific heritage, and she definitely has a lot of respect for her ancestry here. Um, Queen is definitely going to be, I think, a queen to watch here, especially given the fact that she's the one who opens up this whole situation for all of us with an original song and dance number, and she is on it for me completely here. She hits all of her moves. She's really clean. She had a lot of fun dance and choreography with the dancers that she had, and I think the standout moment here was definitely where she picks up the dancer on her shoulders and carries him around the stage. And I loved how she ended it with the leaf blowers and just posing around the stage. I thought it was just such a great way and such a high energetic performance to start things off here. Do you have any thoughts here on Miss Queen Kong tonight?
I have to be honest, I liked her performance a lot, but I did not think it was going to score as highly as some of the other girls were going to. That being said, like I understand how she kind of like I can see she's starting the show. She sets a really good bar for everyone to meet. I enjoyed her performance. I loved when she picked the guy up because I think that was like huge because we've never really seen queens like do anything like that. It's always the other way around, and it's usually a skinny bitch doing it. So it's great to see like the complete opposite.
Yeah, when it comes to Queen and we can only probably touch on this a little bit later at the end when we talk about the entirety of the performances here. I was a little surprised that she got the win, but not really. I think there was someone else I would have made a case for, and then somebody else I think that maybe the public might have wanted to make a case for, or at least maybe the edit could have made a case for. But I definitely think Queen was probably third, a strong third for me. So I don't mind the fact that Queen ended up ultimately getting the win here. Our second performance of the night, though, was Brazil's Miranda Lebrão, and I'll be honest, um, getting into just kind of some editing situations here, she was giving me a little concern. Like she seems to be the most emotional out of all the international girls here performing in front of Rue. And again, she does come from the Brazil franchise, where she was kind of tied for. They had a top four that season, so basically everybody got second, third, or fourth. So we'll say she tied for runner up. She had one win in the design challenge and one bottom in the makeover challenge, which is a little surprising because she definitely gives that kooky fashion queen vibe of the season. And I got to be honest, going back to her edit there, I was a little worried here because it is a little worrying for me because a lot of the times, especially in reality TV, I feel like one of the biggest tropes, one of the biggest sad tropes, is that they always have that someone who is like their life dream to do something, right? And I feel like they always put too much pressure on themselves to the point where they just don't perform as well as they could. And Miranda's kind of giving me that because she's the first one to kind of freak out under, pressure here. And I'm a little worried for her. As Omarosa says, the first to cry is the first to fry. So I was just a little worried that she's already tearing up going into a non-elimination talent show. But I get it. She's a perfectionist. But I don't think she had any reason to be nervous because her comedic trapeze performance was really good. I had a question about the outfit she was wearing, but otherwise, I thought she did really well. I thought the stunts were really, I mean, I can't do any of that shit. So I thought she did really well. And especially because we learned from after the fact here that a lot of her nerves come from the fact that she had some previous injuries. And she says that this is kind of her farewell performance to the arts, since those injuries will likely inhibit her trapeze skills moving forward. So it feels like Miranda is getting a lot of love from Rue with all the weird names that he's calling her, but at the same time, I was also kind of a little thrown off by this very emotional edit we're getting from Miranda here. So I'm I want her chances to be a lot better, but I'm a little worried here for Miss Miranda overall after this premiere. Do you have any thoughts here on Miss Miranda's talent show performance tonight and just her overall?
Overall, I have seen a lot of mixed reactions from Miranda. I know we've talked about earlier, not everyone like understood why her placement was her lower on the promo, but I enjoyed her talent. I thought it was fun. Unfortunately, I don't think it was strong enough to be in the top two, but I do think it was a really good talent. It was nice to see some other talents because usually we see the same, at least from where we're from. A lot of the times, the talent show is everyone's doing their own song, and you're just like, okay, that's great, but do something else during it. So I really enjoyed her doing something different and having fun with it. I liked her performance a lot.
Yeah, I think I had her at a solid fourth, but I still
Same.
really enjoyed Miranda, and I would like to see her do well, and I'm hoping for the best here. But let's talk about our next performance. From the UK, our second, third finalist, Kitty. Scott-Claus. Again, she has two wins in the Miss Fugly Beauty Pageant Flash Ball Challenge and also the Bra Wars Acting Challenge. And she's one of, I think, two queens tonight that don't have any sort of bottom placements. So I think that speaks to just how well-rounded Kitty is here. And I think much like Nina West should have had in All Stars 9, at least kind of how we thought she was here. I do think Kitty kind of enters this competition kind of in that same place as being the really only true comedic and acting queen I would say on this cast. Like there's other queens that are good at comedy, but I don't think they're true like comedy queens. But unlike Nina, I do think that Kitty has a better sense of fashion, and she also can dance. Clearly, and as she shows off here in a talent show, she can also sing at least for the second half of the performance, I felt like she could sing. I didn't really. She started out a little, I think, nervous, a little timid, a little something about the voice wasn't matching up for me, until about maybe halfway. But um, I love the fact that she was enjoying herself. I mean, singing live is clearly very hard here. Lucy LaDuca infamously can can show us here, you know. But this was not a Lucy LaDuca moment here at all. I thought Kitty did really well here. It might have been towards the lower end of the list here for me. I did have her ranked at number five overall from this first group, but I thought she did really well, and I thought she sounded all right. So, um, didn't mind Kitty's talent here. Do you have any thoughts on Kitty tonight?
She might not have the best singing voice ever or anything, but it was fun. She gave me that pop star like moment that I was like loving what she was trying to give us. I think it really, really showed here. And one of the fun things about this was her talent. I was really involved, and I was like, oh, I want to see more. Like I was excited. I was like, I was like, this has me energized. I'm ready here for it. And I was kind of I was kind of like, okay, so this is definitely not like gonna get the top placements or whatever, but I will say it was fun. She probably had one of the better outfits of the night too when it came to the performance. And I mean, who doesn't like you know, a very like fun poppy moment in a talent show? If you're gonna do a song, at least make it upbeat and fun. So yeah, she placed pretty low on those standings, but not last place for me. But she was fun.
I just want to say I don't think any of these performances, like if we were to do like a overall talent show ranking, they would be anywhere near the bottom whatsoever. It's just I think based off of everybody else here, this is just a very high caliber group. I feel like.
Yeah.
So sadly, Katie would doesn't win, but I think she had a very very strong start here. Katie's one of the people I would not be surprised ends up making a very deep run in the season here. So. Um, Moving on to our next queen of the night here, we have Belgium's Athena Likis, who was a runner-up on her season. She considers herself the heart of Drag Race Belgium with her edgy androgynous fashion. Part of, I guess, the new age underground movement of drag here. She comes with us here with two wins in the talent show and the makeover, as well as one bottom in the stand-up challenge. So initially going into this, but just based off of, I mean, that record, I was definitely looking to a talent that I was probably gonna like, do really well here. I figured she was gonna be like one of the higher placements here. I think sadly Athena ends up as my least favorite of this group. Not to say that anything she did here was inherently bad. I love the idea actually that she went here with the comedic burlesque performance here, where everything is kind of, something wrong is off of it here. Like she has her balloon boobies that float away at the start of the performance, and then her fan that she opened were broken. I don't know if I really get the whole part where the Michelle Visage car salesman balloon things came out at the end and danced with us, but it was definitely stupid. It was giving me like Ben de la Creme's talent show, but I think Ben de la Creme kind of executed the idea a lot better, maybe here for me. But it was still stupid. It was still campy in the most fun way, and I didn't hate it. But of these six performances, it was definitely the weakest here for me.
So I have a completely different view of it than you do, actually. I rated it near the top of the performances for myself. I really enjoyed this performance. I thought it was way more funny than other girls who've done like funny burlesque before. And I say that as like someone who wasn't really like a fan of, for example, a good one is the season 3 of All Stars, Vanilla Creme's funny burlesque. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I liked this one way more. I thought it was extremely funny. I was entertained the whole time. Like I didn't know what was really coming next per se, and I just thought it was fun. Overall, she actually placed like second for me on this, so I was excited for her. I
Surprising
know.
for me.
One of our
Not to say
biggest
like
like
it was, not to say it was bad at all. Like I said, I'm surprised because it wasn't like, I said, it was just, there was a lot of other performances I felt like that felt a lot more cohesive that made a little bit more sense in like a more relevancy situation. Like I get to some degree like you have some cultural backgrounds and whatnot in certain situations, but I think when you bring it to a global stage, it has to be something that I think everybody can kind of get into. And not say that I don't think that was the case here, but I just feel like compared to everybody else's, for me, I think she just ranked a little bit on the lower end. But I can see why people enjoy it. Like I was saying, like I don't think any of these performances here tonight, other than one, which we'll talk about later in the second group, are bad. I think there is probably a case to be made for everybody, for the most part. I'm a little surprised you didn't like Ben de la Creme. I loved Ben de la Creme. She
I
was one of
did
my
not think Vanilla
favorites.
Crunch was that good.
She
I
had
thought
one of
it
my
was very like
favorites.
predictable.
Uh, that's sad. That's sad. But I mean, I get it. Well, you know what? Still not a bad start here for Athena. So we get to our fifth performance of Group 1 here, one I was very excited for, which is France's Soa de Muse. Again, Soa comes into us, into this as a second/third finalist in her season of the first season of Drag Race France with two wins, one being the talent show, which for me, I still lives rent free in my brain to this day, even though I have no idea what the hell she's saying in the majority of her performances here. It doesn't matter here. She also has a win in the girl group challenge, while she also has two bottoms in the acting and ball. So, a little bit worried when it comes to fashion, maybe acting completely here for Soa, but when it comes to performance in cabaret, which she gave us a taste on the main stage here. Oh my god, this bitch gave me so much goosebumps. Like I loved this performance personally. For me, this was my number two. I loved the fact that everything that she does is so haunting and chilling, and just her voice sounds so good. And it's I don't know if it was as good as her first performance, for me in the first talent show that she gave, but still for me was one of my favorites of the night. Absolutely.
I love Soda Muse. Let me start by saying that I was super excited to see her. And this talent show, I don't think she did a bad job at all. But I got to be 100 with you. This is another part where we disagree. This was my least favorite of the night. I was kind of bored. I didn't really know what
Oh,
was going on.
wow.
I know. Hear me out though. Hear me out though. The audio was off. Like I had to turn that bitch all the way up just to even hear anything. And I was like, this is not it. It wasn't killing it for me. I was like, I'm so bored. I was about to start falling asleep, girl. Like, I don't mean to be rude. It didn't pick up fast enough for me. Like, eventually we got there, but I just really felt like Soda Muse, like, kind of missed the mark here. Like, I love that she wanted to do this, but I wasn't feeling it that hard. I don't think it was like a bad talent show performance. I've seen way worse just come in safe too. So I think it was a fine performance. It just wasn't my favorite of the night. So I put it in my number six.
Well, well, you just hate cabaret. That's fine. I get it. It's
I don't
understandable.
hate
I
cabaret. I
think you
just didn't
think you
find it
do.
very
It's fine.
entertaining.
It's okay. It's understandable. It's fine. We can agree to disagree. Because I think we could all agree here, or at least we better agree here, that our number one performance came from, I think, the queen herself, Miss Alyssa Edwards. And if you don't know Alyssa Edwards, what you doing? Have you watched Drag Race before? Because she comes to us from two of the best seasons Drag Race has to offer. Before I think any of these franchises even had, I don't even think any of these queens were even on a season four. Alyssa was on two seasons, so her coming for her third season now is ridiculous. And let's not even like look at her track record 100% necessarily, because she does have sixth place in her original season, season five, and then fifth place in All Stars 2. But we cannot judge her not making a finale here, because as we've kind of discussed, especially with like Roxy in the last podcast, season five is one of the most stacked casts, as well as All Stars 2. So it's like it, fifth, sixth amongst that group, that is definitely, as far as I'm concerned, still considered kind of finalist worthy, personally, for me. And Alyssa does have 3 wins under her belt as well here too, with the RuPaul Ballet in season 5, as well as her Herstory musical and Stand Up with Alaska that happened in All Stars 2. So, if you don't know Alyssa here, by the way, I don't know. I don't know. And it definitely feels like all the queens know Alyssa because they kind of are looking at her like mother the whole time. And I feel like just kind of taking at least back to kind of the work before we get into her talent show here. She's really kind of taking advantage, I think, of the fact that everybody knows her. And she seems like she's really having a good time getting to know all these girls and having them share their stories and kind of taking on this role of kind of being the mother, and it's really sweet, and I think it's a really different side of Alyssa that we've gotten to see here. Like the first, I'd say first 2 seasons, I think she had a very competitive edge to her. Whereas this one, we still have the competitive edge, but now we get to see, the softer, sweeter side of Alyssa here. And in this performance, this I think I really need to do an official talent show this because this could possibly be one of my favorites that I think I've ever seen. Just she gives all of these girls a lesson in the performance here of how to do a talent show. Because not only does she have an original song, but she has an amazing idea behind it with the aerobics being inspired on it. And also, it's intercut with so much Alyssa that you really get to see every side of her here. She throws in some funny dance moments, gives her signature tongue pop and stare. Just everything about this performance is branded so well, so catchy, and then it ending with the flash dance moment. Oh my god. Alyssa is by far one of the best queens when it comes to just being able to brand yourself within 60 seconds here. The comedy, the danceability, the charisma, the tongue pops. She killed this performance. Don't care what you have to say, Jack. Because I'm saying she's number one. But I'll listen to what you have to say
Girl,
anyway.
everyone thought she was number one. If someone thought she wasn't number one, they thought she was number two. I ain't saying I'm the best, but I ain't the worst, like kind of thing. Like if Rue's number one, I'm number two, kind of thing. Like Alyssa Edwards' performance was so much fun. It was so engaging. We were all waiting for it. She gave us flash dance moment at the very end. Like clearly it was a whole 80s thing, the tongue popping, the it was so good. There's nothing bad you can really say about this. unless you want to say, oh, she did her own song. But at least it was a fun her own song. At least we were entertained. I was watching the whole time, and yeah, I knew she was probably gonna be the water at the end because I got the reference as soon as I saw the rope kind of thing. But like, it was still gaggy, and I was living. She definitely earned her top placement.
Absolutely. And we will get into a little bit more. Actually, no, we'll just talk about it now. Why not? Because our top two All Stars of the week here are deemed Alyssa Edwards and Queen Kong. Jack, I need to know, do you agree? Because as we've kind of stated here, I think we both had a different top two here. I had Soa, and I think there's still a case for Miranda to be in the top. I don't know if I see Athena being there, but I do think likely this is probably the most correct two that we had here, right?
Uh, It's hard for me to say Queen Kong deserved the top two. I think also since they were taking the runway into account, right? So that's kind of difficult for me to like if I take the runway in consideration, I'm like, was Queen Kong up there though?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
I mean, we could talk about the runways here, because the very first runway session that they get to this season, and again, I think we'll be eating very well this season, much like Eve ate the Adam, or Eve ate Adam. Wow. Eve ate the apple in the Garden of Eden, which is our theme here. Let's give some more snaps or slaps in the way that they came out on the runway, starting out with again Miss Athena Likis from Belgium, and I give her a snap on this. It's not 100% a polished look, but I don't think that's what matters most about this look. I think I kind of like the fact that it's a little bit grungy, the fact that she's literally just giving BDSM realness when it comes up to the rope tying. It's all sorts of impactful and well thought out, and just I enjoy that snap.
oh my God, snaps this look. It started off the category so strong. These like thin little ropes. It's like very reminiscent of what would have been done back in the day. Like this was giving Garden of Eden, the apple in her mouth as the choke, her hair being tied down as well. Just everything about this is so good. It was so shock value at first too. And the more you look at it, you're like, okay, maybe I will say the one thing is if a bigger girl did this, they probably wouldn't like it. But this is crazy good drag. I loved it. And this is one of the reasons why I was really like, how was she not in the top over Queen Kong? But again, so maybe some people didn't like her performance like you didn't. So I understand. But snaps.
Did not like her performance. I just had others ranked
You
higher.
just didn't like it as much.
As much, yes, as much. Our next look here, Miss Miranda Lebrão. I liked this look and I disliked it, and then still will. I'm gonna go back and still say that I still give it a snap. I just kind of really kind of dislike the midsection of it. I get like it's kind of supposed to also kind of be like an apple core and whatnot, like how the dress is formed, but I don't know. It's just it's I don't know. That part of it is kind of throwing me off here, but overall snaps.
This is a good look. Definitely snaps for this look. I agree with you. The apple core thing wasn't as easy to understand, and I didn't love how it was created like that. There's a couple details that also are off for me, like the head wrap and stuff isn't as good. And I initially was like, "Oh, this is really good," but as more looks came out, I was gagged. This runway was probably my favorite I've seen in a very long time. So this one gets snaps, but it's not like high on my list.
Like, can I say I kind of wish it was red. Like I wish she took the apple out, and I wish she was red, and it was just the apple. Because if the snake is gonna come out of it and eat, like it would make more sense to me. I don't know. There's random people in there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean,
no, just a small thing there.
that one have fixed it though.
It
Like
might have fixed it a little
there's a lot
bit.
of other issues we could get into, but I won't.
Yeah, well, let's get into Pythia's look here because I absolutely fucking love this look. This is so cool, so creative. And the detailing with like her being just like the rot just all over her body with the makeup, and then also in her teeth. It's just oh my god, it's so good. Looks so good. I'm so excited for Pythia's runways this season. Snap, snap, snap.
So this look for me was good, right? I just didn't really fully I didn't think the apple was good enough. I felt like it was kind of like I love the rotting part of it. I love it was fun, but so much of her body is just in either a bodysuit or like um covered by like leggings or something that I really wasn't feeling the full fantasy of it. And I like the idea and the concept. I think it's executed but decently, but I think it could be better. Snaps, but definitely not high on my list at all.
Yeah, um, Queen Kong, as you were kind of saying here, initially I really liked this look, but now that I'm kind of seeing it like not moving, I don't know, something about it that's very basic. I don't get the little like mid part, midsection, like corset part, like why it's just kind of like just there. And like it's just such a distracting piece compared to the rest of the garment, which is really looks kind of cool, but it just bisects her into like three different sections. Also gonna just say I love the wig on this. But overall, I gotta give this a slap. I gotta be a little bit more decisive when it comes to these things. I'm slapping you. Queen. Sorry.
So I have to give this a snap for I like the look. I didn't get the concept though of the like, Garden of Eden thing, and I think part of it was that we were expecting specific references. But I love the hair. I love the pattern on the outfit of the dress, and I love the nails. I think the makeup really brought it all together. You mentioned the mid piece is a little funky. I agree with you, and part of it without that, especially, would have just been a really simple dress. But there is a lot going on here that I really do like. So I'm gonna give it a low snap, but I can't slap it. The only reason I would slap it is category wise, I didn't understand fully.
Yeah, it's giving more like garden than Garden of Eden. That's why I would slap it. There's a couple other ones that I think give more garden than Garden of Eden, but let's go with Soa de Muse here. And she's giving Lilith. I like all the details on this. I'm not sure if I can get was Lilith in the Garden of Eden. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, then we'll give her a snap.
Lilith is essentially the first, like Eve in a way.
Okay, okay. Then yeah, we give her a snap. Then if it fits category.
I gotta give her a snap. It definitely fits the category. My only issue is some of the material choices were a little funky, and it looked when they got closer, it looked very rubbery and like not a very like nice way. And I'm not saying that like everything has to be like perfectly beautiful or whatever, but with this category, there were just so many good outfits that it was hard to like place this up higher. But definitely still snaps. This is great. I love it.
As a testicle. I get the bondage. I love the bondage reference again, as we kind of said with Athena. But I feel like after seeing Athena's, this one kind of coming out a lot more like modern. I both enjoy it, but I also kind of like. Now I'm comparing it to Athena's the whole time. I think I like Athena's better, but I'm still not disliking this one. It's just it feels a little bit more basic compared to the other one. I don't know. Or maybe there's more to it. I don't know. I don't dislike it. still gonna snap it, but it might be a little bit lower on my list here.
This is definitely snaps. Like I love this. This is literally Athena's look, but make it like bring it more into the like over exaggeration of like I don't want to say horror because that's like not what it is, even though she's kind of giving us that. It's more like this is the campiest version of it you could get kind of thing, right? Like sure the snakes are a little cheapy looking and the boots are great color combo, but doesn't exactly match everything else going on. But I really enjoy this look. I still like Athena's much better. But again, this is a really fun one. She's tied up the apples in her mouth, and that's what causes the issues. And it's a very funny representation. I love it. Snaps for Tessa Testicle. Um, but obviously not going to be the highest on my list.
I definitely snaps here, and I'm definitely giving snaps here to our next queen, Nalia, who's giving Did I say that right? Nehellenia? Nehellenia.
Natalie.
Nehellenia. 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 Bob Mac to Survivor. Nehellenia is giving us this beautiful was it? I think was she Gabriel? I can't remember exactly the reference here, but she
She's
goes from
Judas, I believe, right?
Judas. I don't remember exactly who she was being. Maybe Judas. But giving us the fallen angel whole reveal here with I thought it was brilliant that she kept the stoned wings in her back. I thought that was where the wounds were. I thought that was so cool. But I love the reveal. I love both outfits here. I think I like the first outfit a little bit better than the second outfit. But overall, I give her snaps here. She's going to be a reveal queen, I think, for sure, based off of what she's given us in this first episode.
I definitely have to give snaps, but God, I have to admit that the reveal was such a letdown because this first outfit was so good, and when she starts pulling off the wings, I was like, "This is so good! I love this!" And and like the start of her being like an angel, becoming a fallen angel, um, so good, so good. And then she reveals into something that I was like, "Huh, okay." Wow, I think actually, if I think I might have been remembering wrong. I think this was supposed to be Lucifer. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but when she reveals herself as the fallen angel, and she takes off the white and gold piece, I was like, that bodysuit kind of thing just wasn't as strong as the first part, and like by a lot. So it was just unfortunate. I did love the details in the back of the bloody wings pulled out kind of thing. It was great. It was lower on my list than what it would have been had the reveal been better, but definitely snaps still, definitely snaps.
And up next we have Gala Varo, and I'm gonna give this snaps. I like this. I love the fact that she went for an all kind of white look, which we haven't really had very much of. I felt like out of this category. I don't know if I understand necessarily the back part of it as much, but I love just the detailing on it, and the snake coming around her, and just the small little details of the foliage that she has around. So it looks good. It wasn't necessarily top of my list, but I have her very safely in the middle as a very safe snap.
I oh my god, I almost died when I saw this look. I was screaming. This is such high drag caliber for me. Like, I think if you're gonna do something fashionable and campy, this is the way to do it. Like, she looks so good here. Definitely snaps. I'm so excited for Galavara. This just looked so good to me. Yes, if I like take a very like intricate like detail in it, I can see a few things that I would like change or could be a little bit better, but it took my breath away when she came out here looking like this. This is a commitment. There's a lot of great details here, just like the leafage, the little bits um of the outfit just covering up the nude areas, but still having her nipples exposed. I just think this was so good. This was so amazing. So many snaps. I couldn't give this enough snaps. One of my favorite of the nights.
One of my favorites of the nights up next here, Miss Eva Le Queen. I fucking love this look. Oh my god, she looks so good. Oh my god, she came around the corner. I think I literally like just because she's the makeup, the look, the way that she sold it. I love everything about this look. I love just the texturing of it, just the way that the beading, or whatever that material she has that's wrapped around everything here. It looks so good. I was a little questionable about the green wig a little bit at first, but she's selling it for me. I'm fine with it. I think it works on the whole look. So overall, possibly my number two, I think for the night is Eva for sure. Snaps, 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 snaps.
Eva gets high regards to me, high snaps. I loved this look. The fact that she's the snake and the embodiment of a human. Kind of thing like we can see it, hence the green wig, and all this fringe hanging down in this beautifully crafted fabric draped over her body. She looks amazing and holding the apple, this stern gaze she has at you. Like the way she performed this beautiful look is Oh god, this is what good drag is. Like, this is so good. Eva came to slay on this runway. I love it. Eva definitely gets huge snaps from me. She's my second favorite of the night. So good.
Up next from Sweden, Miss Vanity Vain, and I gotta say this was my least favorite of the night. I didn't like the jumpsuit. It's not elevated. It's giving me the whole look. Honestly, gave me Billie Eilish, and then she took this thing off and became the snake, and then she became Condom. Like it was just it. I don't like this look. I'm sorry if anybody does like this. No offense to you, Vanity, but this is just take it. Just take the slap. Just take this hard slap and just deal with it.
So I don't think I'm gonna give this a slap per se because I kind of liked the whole like coming out in the snake skinned leather uh you know two piece I guess if you want to call it like that, the hoodie and the pants. But I will say the reveal was a bit weak. It wasn't that strong of like a look overall. It wasn't one of my faves. I'm gonna give it a low snap. I enjoyed the like fashiony moment, but again, like without knowing the category, would I know what this was? Very questionable on that one, so probably not.
I'm surprised you haven't slapped anybody yet. Are you gonna slap our next queen? Because I'm about to slap this bitch. Katie Scott-Claus. She's giving her best English Rose fantasy. I like the look, but it's not giving me Garden of Eden whatsoever. It's giving me just garden. Like out of everybody that just kind of has a theme where you kind of just can't look at it, you kind of can't get it. I don't get it at all. Like she looks fine. Um, it's I don't mind elements of this, but again, I don't think it fits the theme at all whatsoever. Um, I had it at number I think 11 or 10 here, but I'm slapping you. I'm slapping you, Kitty. I'm decisively slapping you.
Wow, I can't believe you're slapping the girl here. Uh, so
Slap you with my words, Kitty.
s- so I didn't necessarily I didn't slap this look. I'm gonna say that.
You weren't slapping
Again,
anyone.
I'm not. I know because I thought this
Slap
category
someone.
was
You have
so.
to slap somebody. I'm forcing
I
you have to
think
slap
I
somebody.
think the problem is that we have different versions of like what we see as Garden of Eden, but I didn't get Garden of Eden from this. I thought it was really campy and fun though of a version. I got the like when she put these kind of flowers in her hair, that made me think of the whole like version in the Garden of Eden. But like again, for the challenge, I'm not so sure I got that right away, other than from her hair and like how I guess just naturally beauty she kind of looks like. I like this actual complete different look of it. I thought at first this was actually the apple, uh, and I didn't mind it. I was like, this is a very different shape. My biggest critique, honestly, is the green stockings. I know it's supposed to be the stem. I get it. I still am not a fan of that. So I guess if I have to give a slight slap, I'm gonna give a slight slap to this. But I don't hate it. Honestly, I don't hate it. I just thought it could be better.
Forcing you to be violent. Let's get to our final look of the category here, Miss Alyssa Edwards. And oh my God, I think this might be my number one. I don't know if I'm just influenced in giving favoritism or whatnot here, but I think this is by
You
far one of the best looks that Alyssa has ever given. Like, I feel like this is literally like if Alyssa Edwards decided to play God in it, how like an Adam and Eve musical or something like that. Whatever, you know what? Like she would come out looking like this. Like this is by far, I think, the most elevated Alyssa has ever looked. I love all the detailings in the outfit. There's so much for you to take in, which is quintessential Alyssa, but it's also I felt like edited down to the point where it's just only like the most brilliant details remain. Um, and I love the wig. I snap. My number one.
So I do think you're a bit biased here because I don't think she can take the number one spot. But that being said, she
She's like
looks
tied with Eva
amazing.
here. Her and Eva are tied.
They can be tied for second and third, I guess. But I can't tie her for first. I didn't understand fully that this was Garden of Eden if I take it out of the category right. But the way she looks so beautiful and so majestic here, she earned one of my top spots of the night. But I couldn't give her first for this. I love the hair. I love the headpiece. I love all this rich green fabric wrapped around her so beautifully, entwining her body. She really is the garden come to life with the snakes inside. Definitely snaps for Alyssa. She looks so fucking good. There's no way you can slap this look.
Okay, then who is your number one then? If it's not Alyssa or Eva, is it
It
Gala?
was it was Gala Varo, yeah.
I don't mind it as much. There's something about the booby region in Gala's that looks a little plasticky to me that's kind of throwing me off just a little bit. Um, but she still ranks pretty high for me. I think it's definitely like probably like top four, top five looks here for me. Overall, very strong runway to start us off with, and I love how many different interpretations we kind of got here. And we can only wait to see what we can get moving forward. But again, we learned that Alyssa and Queen are our winners for top two in episode one, and they lip sync to "Only Girl in the World" by Rihanna, which gotta laugh because I feel like I was maybe channeling Global All Stars at the moment when I brought that up in All Stars 9 when I was like I couldn't remember the lip sync song and I was like, oh, it was Rihanna, right? But no, it's much more fitting here. And not just because Alyssa gets another Rihanna song to face off against Kween Kong here, but damn, did they know not just do well here? If I had to pick a winner, I think it would be Alyssa, just because she's so captivating for me. And just even when she's just kind of just prancing around the stage, she's still just exciting to move in for. But our Queen is just also just very high energy. I don't think a lot of her moves are maybe as planned, and she just seems as like controlled as Alyssa is for me. But that barrel roll, that fucking barrel roll, how do you not just give her a win just based off of that? Like that looks like it's so painful. I do think Alyssa probably could have just got a solo win for me. So, um, are we looking at some favoritism here for Queen? I don't know. But I think both of these girls are now set up for the long run, given the fact that they're sharing the very first lip sync win and they get $5,000 apiece here. What were your thoughts on the first lip sync and the outcome of the season here, Jack?
This lip sync was so fucking good. I was shocked. I was shocked. I was gagged by this lip sync. It was so good. The only thing I have to say like about this lip sync is I don't think it. I don't want to say there was favoritism for Queen Kong to tie this. In fact, I was like really not sure who was gonna win this lip sync because like there were just two different styles going on the whole time, in my opinion. Both did an incredible job. What a way to start off the season! First lip sync, love the tie. It was great for me.
Yeah, I don't mind the tie as much here either. I would say only favoritism in the fact that she was in that position to begin with, just because clearly we thought that there might have been some other people that might have maybe been a little deserving of that spot there. But I think the fact that we both had her probably like third, I want to say,
Mhm.
and we had a different number two, maybe just goes to show that maybe she was the most next most consistent there, as far as it goes. So I don't have any issues with the outcome here. I thought it was very deserved on both parties here. And Alyssa and Queen both get to enter episode two here in our second part of the premiere with a win, and now they can just take a rest as Group Two. It gets to come to the table here, and I was very excited for this group because if you think about it, all the Rue Judge season girls were in Group One, so this group was truly all international. And we'll go again in the order that they performed their talent shows in here with starting with Pythia, again from Drag Race Canada. She is one of the two finalists, placing second and third, with two wins, one being the Rusical and the Prom Makeover. She also has no bottom placements, and being that she is a Greek Canadian immigrant with theater background, she already kind of feels like the Global All Stars is very fitting for her. And as far as the talent goes. She gives us a bedtime story, and I thought it was really cute. I thought it was a very great. statement to say, and because obviously, the whole political view here with the Queen's reading stories,
Referencing,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, get it out,
No,
bitch.
I'm running out of words to say because we're just talking so much about everything here. But I thought it was just a very, very smart decision to do here. I don't know if it was necessarily ever going to be a performance that was going to win, though, per se, but I do
No.
think it was going to be a performance that she was always going to get a really good critique in. And I thought it was kind of hilarious that the moral of the story is that we all have a crown deep inside of us, as long as we sit on it first. But I do just want to kind of say edit wise, just because going into this, Thea was one of my favorites. I was a little worried about her edit. I feel like maybe if out of all the girls in this group that we're talking about, like at the screen time, whatnot, like I feel like Pathia didn't get as much as I was hoping for. I'm not to say that that's gonna like say anything about how she's gonna do here moving forward. There's still plenty of time here, and I just feel like they focused on a lot of other girls in group two, and Bethia didn't even really get very much screen time until it came to the talent show. So, a little worried for her in that aspect, but overall, I thought a great night here for Bethia.
I liked Pythia's, whole like idea behind this concept. I thought it was really cute that she had the things popping out of the book. My only issue with her talent was on top of knowing it was never going to be in the top placement unless everyone else bombed, um, was that I kind of felt like she was a little bitter. And I was like, oh, she is not over the fact that she didn't win her season because she was so hyped up. Okay. Like, yikes. Because, like, the fans really love Pythia. And I get that. She is a great queen. But I was like, is this bitterness? Like, I was really nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. That I was like, is she good? And it was cute. It was very cute. Liked her look. And then she gave the crown away afterwards, which was a funny gag kind of thing. But I was worried that maybe she's just a little too bitter about something. And maybe that's what the kind of came off as and why they didn't give as much screen time. I don't know. Or maybe she just has a lot more time left. Who knows? But overall, a very good, fun run or a talent showing from Pythia.
Mhm, mhm. I'm very interested to see how the rest of the season kind of turns out for Thea, but we'll kind of see. Another queen that I think maybe one of our dark horses here that got I think a lot of focus in the edit here is Miss Nehellenia from Talia, where she finished tied for second and third. She had one win that season in the makeover challenge, but she never placed in the bottom. She also is one of the few finalists that have also gotten Miss Congeniality as well here too. So she thinks that her kindness is both going to be her strength as well as something that she's going to be underestimated for. And I think she really proves in her in the second mini challenge that we have this episode here, which was the Soul Train dance off photo shoot thing, that she has some amazing dance talent here. Like she could possibly be up for one of the best dancers that we've had here, just based off of the fact that she just goes. Like she just goes off in like this way that she's able to just kind of move her body. I was not expecting her to kind of have this kind of talent here. Even after watching her original season, I still did not expect her to come out here and have like this level of talent here. And I mean, she scored $2,500 for the win there, so making some money with it. I was fully expecting her to do really well in the talent show as well here too, especially because they spent a lot of time giving her backstory this episode here, which I kind of want to dive in here too because I thought it was really beautiful to hear here because she states that she really struggled to express her sexuality around her father growing up, but her mother secretly enrolled her into dance classes. It was just like, just don't tell your father. And so it sounds like a lot of support that she had here was from her mother growing up. But then we get to the fact that the first time she was ever in drag here, her father was apparently working security at the nightclub, which kind of insane there. Because wouldn't that be a gay club more than likely? But apparently, he saw her in the dressing room, and they had a moment where he first really truly approved of her for the first time. And I thought it was a really sweet story to say that this is now how they ended up being best friends. So I thought that was really. And oh my God, her original song and dance number so catchy. Like this bitch is so talented. Like this, I feel like is the sort of queen that this global all stars was really meant for. Like she's definitely kind of a diamond in the rough from another country who was bringing to America to show herself. And I think this girl is really truly the dark horse at the moment. I'm very surprised she did not get a top two spot. Um, I'm still kind of confused as to why, but I think maybe the fact that she got the uh, mini challenge win was maybe the recognition she was supposed to be getting from this episode. But Jack, did you have any thoughts here on Elena's performance tonight?
I loved her performance tonight. Honestly, I was like, yes, this is so good. It wasn't in my top two slots only because there were two other queens that I think really showed up and showed out and were just really fun. But that being said, if she had made it to the top two, I would not have been mad in the slightest. You know, she was great. It was so much fun. Definitely a great showing from her. And I think you're right. It was fun to see her backstory early, to get to know that she does feel that love and support, even if at one point she didn't feel like she did. And something I really loved about this was, you know, her story was like one of those like beautiful moments where you want, because not every gay person really gets that kind of love and support from their own family. So it was really great to see that like eventually things really got good for her, and just one of those things that really brought the queens closer together, because as gay people, you know, we have that shared experience. So that being said, again, her talent show is so great. And I loved her, and I do think she is a dark horse in this competition. So I think you're correct with saying that.
Mm. I'm very excited to see what all she has to bring this season. Another queen that I was very excited, especially after the promo look ranking here, to see what she had to bring this season was Miss Tessa Testicle, who comes to this as the a queen with the worst original placement, given that she finished, I believe, eighth place on a season of 11 girls. She has four bottom placements, no wins. But that's kind of impressive if you think about it, because that means she lip synced literally three times and saved herself from the bottom, and ultimately was only ever eliminated by the eventual winner in the lip sync. So, um, dare we say here that Tessa could be a lip sync assassin of the season? I don't know, but she's definitely probably the youngest and the smart mouth and the most probably eager to just kind of say whatever the fuck's on her mind here. Because she seems pretty kind of dramatic. She seems like she doesn't really care too much about how people are kind of thinking about her. She seems like she's gonna be somebody that doesn't really care to censor herself very much. I'm kind of very excited. So hopefully this means that Tessa will be around for a little bit here. And some backstory on her name here that she states that in one of her early shows here, she experienced a testicle torsion during a show, which almost killed her ball. Thankfully, the ball is good. We're good. We're fine with that. Alyssa even gives her the seal of approval here, despite her questionable name. And apparently, throughout this whole process here, Tessa is trying to maybe audition for the House of Edwards here to get the last name. So who knows? Maybe after the season's over, we'll have a Tessa Edwards. This girl is too much. Um, especially in the mini challenge when this bitch put the fucking breastplate on her lower half, pretending that they're supposed to be her balls. What is she doing? Like, this is gonna be the girl that does too much because she's kind of giving me too much. Except in this performance, she did not give me anything at all. Like, this was by far my least performance of the night. Um, like she was it was honestly kind of cringe, honestly. Like she was singing and talking live, but a lot of her vocals I think were really just lost for me, and I didn't really get a lot of what she was trying to do here. And then she just kind of gets picked up at like random moments, and there's I guess some choreography. I don't know. I don't understand what was going on here. This was by far, something makes me a little worried that maybe Tessa might be experiencing a few more times here in the bottom on Global All Stars because this is a stacked cast, and to come out with that as your talent, weak.
We've seen a lot of delusional queens before, and that's kind of what she's giving the edit so far, has given her at least. She's very fun. She's high energy, except from that talent show. I love that she used her breastplate as balls. I think that was genius. I don't think I've ever seen a girl do that, so I was like very intrigued by her doing it. I thought it was so funny. I was like, okay, here we go. But her talent show was so lacking, and she was like, "This is my audition, girl. I'm gonna be in the top." I was like the top six of the night, like not the top two or three, because it was definitely a sixth placement. She's a great sixth placer right now. Yeah, it was a bad. We could just go on. There's no need to talk about how bad it was again.
Well, thankfully, the second half of this talent show ended really, really strongly. And we get into that first of those looks here, or first of those acts here, which was Miss Eva Le Queen from the Philippines, coming to us from season one, where she has no wins, where it's very, very, very surprising. 'Cause she did so solid the whole season. She did have one bottom placement. Sorry, Jack, to spoil it. She will be a bottom in the ball moving forward here. Obviously, that won't affect her because she will get to the finale. Um, but she considers herself Miss Opulent, Miss Eloquent with a heart. Um, she attempts to get her first win here, and dare I say, again, one of my favorite talent show performances I think that I've seen here in a hot minute, where she gives us a tutorial on how her ancestors cooked rice in a rice cooker. Which turns into a sword fighting session against ninjas and a dragon while she's waiting, all for the rice cooker to not be plugged in all along. Like, this was some campy, stupid shit, but I was living for every single moment. Like, this is how you infuse a little bit of culture with some comedy and also include a dance break in the middle of it, too, where you have some choreography as well, too. Like, this is what I feel like. What's her face from season 15, Miss Dubois. This is what I think that she wanted to try to go for when she was making the ice water, because this was hilarious. This was by far my favorite of the night here. Um, she's just such a high performer from start to finish, and everything that she did was so thought through and calculated and funny. And I'm so excited for what Eva is going to bring this season.
I have to agree. Eva has been a standout the whole time so far. She's really been one of the stronger girls. This performance was so funny, so entertaining. And the gag at the end when she's like, "It's been like 5 days or something, and I still don't have rice, or a week, or whatever it was." And then she goes and finds out that she never plugged in the rice maker. And it's just like, no, like the greatest tragedy of it all. It was so funny. It was so great. Loved her. She was my second place in the rankings of the talent show. Definitely understood why she was in the top.
Yes. Well, I wonder who was your number one. Could they possibly be coming up next? Was it Miss Gala Varo? You just say yes.
Yes, I mean, if it wasn't Gala Varo, you're wrong. Sorry, everyone.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I do actually have Gala too. She was initially my
Yeah.
number one, but I do before I'll get actually you know what, yeah. No, let's talk about Gala first before we get to the critiques here. Because Gala comes to us again from Drag Race Mexico. They had a top four, so she tied for second, third, and fourth place with one win in the girl groups challenge and two bottoms in the snatch game and the stand up challenge. And Gala, oh my god, the trade of the year, not just the trade of the season, won the trade of the year. Oh my god, the Gala is so hot out of drag. Just gotta say that. I love
So
Gala's
hot.
story here too, because Gala used to be a scientist, but then traded her profession completely after being inspired. She says by Alyssa's original season, as well as a past lover who was a dancer who shared their love with Gala, and she decides to do this pole dancing routine, which immediately for me was my number one. Um, this is by far like, oh my god, like sex on the stage. This is everything everywhere all at once. Like this was so fucking good. Like when you talk about a talent, this is a talent. Just the level of skill and acrobaticism to do all of this. She did a fucking split on a pole. Like this is insane. Um, Like, there's definitely going to be a very niche group of leather enthusiasts here, I think, that are going to be pleasuring themselves to this performance for weeks to come because this was hot. Like, um, whoever said it out of the queens in the workroom here that heard that she was doing the pole dancing routine and said that they volunteered to be the pole, sign me up because please do. My only critique here, Gala is so hot. Why that outfit? I think that she could have just, if she could have worn something, at least with not like maybe the hair or with some sort of wig. I don't know. I just the look for me it wasn't giving 100% what I wanted. I get why she went with it. I'm not upset with it, but I think that if we're going to probably critique why Gala did not end up in the top here, I think it's probably because she didn't have an actual like look look that kind of translated to Rue during the performance. Other than that, by far one of my favorites of the night here. By far. I would have had Gala in my top two, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. I don't care that people didn't like her outfit. I thought her outfit was perfectly fine for this. I was amazed. Okay, Gala Varo's performance was the top of the night. It was so good. This is a talent. This is not just like, oh, I'm being sexy. This is like straight up just talented. Like the way you have to do these specific things. Like I don't even understand like the muscle involved in really keeping yourself up, the twirling, everything like that. It's so well done. And when she does the drop and you think she's gonna actually hit the floor because she maybe messes up, no, it's the gag that she's literally gonna stop herself like an inch from the floor on purpose. And I was like, damn, because she could have easily just done down to the splits for that little final bit. No, she like gives us something to like gag on that we were never expecting. So easily my number one of the night. I There was no one who could be above her in my opinion.
I don't disagree with you, but I also kind of disagree with you. I still think I like still love it. Still love it. Easily in my top two for sure, without a doubt. Probably my top three of the talent show overall here too. Like I said, I still really, really love Eva's. Eva was so good. Um, but our eventual winner, closing the show out here tonight, is Miss Vanity Vain from Sweden, who comes to us as third place in season one with one win in the design challenge, as well as two bottoms. One of those being the talent show. So I was a little worried for her at this point, knowing her history here. But she also has a bottom in the acting challenge as well here too. So maybe that's a little bit of foreshadowing in the future here. Who knows? But Vanity says that she feels a little bit like a lone wolf, with a little bit of a temper and attitude. I do feel like she was giving me a little bit of kind of like Scarlet Envy vibes from like season 11, where it's like that kind of slight deluded, but also probably like a little bit of like sass towards other people. Because I don't think she really got along with a lot of the queens in the workroom, I think, on season 11. So I can kind of see maybe Vanity being a little bit of abrasive at some point here. Um, but she's another one that was able to give a lot of her backstory in this episode here, saying that while she doesn't come from like a true drag family, her own family has been extremely supportive of her. So was really really great to hear again that Vanity comes from what seems to be a pretty good home life there with her family situation there. And she was very excited to do her talent. Um, and don't think she actually did all that bad here. She was my number four overall. I think I had Nehellenia just right above her. But Tessa gave, I think, probably one of the best singing performances that
You
we've
mean
ever seen
Vanity?
on the show. Sorry, what did I say? Oh, my bad. Vanity,
You said
yeah,
Tessa,
Vanity.
and I was like, oh,
Oh, whoever I just said, whatever. Vanity. Definitely gave one of the best singing performances I think we've seen on the show. It was very like Swedish Adore Vallado, I feel like. And it felt so flawless compared to maybe like Kitty's performance, where you could hear a little bit of, the off notes. But Vanity just her voice is just so beautiful to listen to. Song sketchy too. I don't know if I would have given her top two for that, but it wasn't bad, and I don't hate the fact that she got some recognition for that performance, because it's very rare, I feel like, that we ever really see anything outside of just a dance performance getting some love here on the main stage. So I'm fine with Vanity getting the win here.
Girl, bye. That shit was so rigged. Yeah, she was fourth place, and I agree 100% that like she did a great job, and she was, the last person in the lineup of who did great jobs tonight for the talent show. But like in the top, in the top two, girl, that was so rigged. I mean, maybe give her a moment of like a win before she goes home or something. Like, I don't know what they were thinking here. The judges were once again, I think RuPaul might have been on that coffee enema sprinkled with some crack or something. I don't know what happened. Um, that was some bullshit that she was in the top two. That there's no way of putting that, especially when we get into the runways. We can get into it, but we can get into it. Like, yeah, she had a good runway, but like definitely did not offset shit for that. So we'll get into it though.
Yeah, well, we can go ahead and get into the runways right now here too, because their second runway category of the part two premiere was "Money Makes the World Go Round," aka local currency eleganza. Let's do another snap or slap round here, shall we? Starting out in the order that they hit the main stage here, starting with Nehellenia, who has another outfit reveal here. Where she goes from, I believe, a local currency that I don't know the exact name of it. I think Italy used to use it, but then they got rid of it for pound, I want to say, or the euro. I'm not trying to give you all a history lesson. We're not going to try to do that right now. Overall, I don't mind this look as much. I don't know if I like it as much as her other look that she popped out here tonight. But I do like the big puffy sleeves. I do like the color combination of the blues, the teals, and the pinks. I think it's really pretty. Um, Overall, I'm not mad at it. Oh, I like the wig too. The wig's really cool. I'll give her a snap. Let's like some.
Um, I like this look a lot. I love the reveal into the pink. I thought that was really fun. It's a very cute starting look. I think the second look might be a little bit less than uh it might be a little less like in terms of what I want to see, but it was definitely a much better reveal than I've seen from other girls who've done some questionable reveals. Like I don't know. um Her first reveal that she did that was problematic. But this one definitely a snap. I liked it a lot. Very cute, very fitting the theme. Loved the whole pink, even if it was a little basic.
Pink. Love pink. Okay, up next is Miss Testicle, and I really like this look on Tessa. Tessa keeps kind of going back and forth with me on looks. She really brings some really clean looks here, that come out kind of very polished. It's a little Dress is a little short for me, but that's just a minor critique because I love the coloring and the pastels of this overall. Snap.
Oh, definitely snaps. This thing is so good, and the way that she took the coin and bent it to make a corset and give herself such a fun shape here is so great. You're so correct that the dress is way too short because I'm tired of seeing like panties. Even if that maybe was her intent, I don't think it adds to the character. I think it actually makes her look weaker. Love the hair. Love that she has a shield and the like staff. It's so good. And the fact that it's the staff is the same as the like doing the nails on the sleeve. It looks so good.
Mhm. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, it's so good, so good. Love the shoes too. Are they iridescent? I don't know.
I
They're really
believe
cute,
so.
really
From this
cute.
picture I can't really tell that well, but I believe they were a very good fit for it all.
Well, let's go to our next fit, Miss Kitty Scott-Claus. Um, I'm gonna slap it. It's a little basic for me. It doesn't really give me anything about like any cultural reference really here too. It just felt like she's like, oh, I'm gonna put some coins on my dress and call it a day. I like the coloring of that. I will say that, but overall, slapping you, Kitty. I She might be getting a lot of slaps from me this season. Um, Oop, did I say she wasn't like Nina? My bad.
You did
Just
say
kidding.
that. So with Kitty, again, I have to slap this. Unfortunately, I do love the hair. I love the colors. The cut of the dress is kind of wrong. like where the split is, and this wasn't representative of any kind of currency. It was just like I put it on there, and maybe those are the coins that she has, but again, it's just like you just put them on the dress. Like it's not like you did anything fun with it. There's no real concept here other than look, I put coins on a dress. And the two fabrics didn't really work that well together, in my opinion. Very reminiscent of Canada versus the World with Tynomies and those two different fabrics that shouldn't have gone together. It's a slap.
Kind of giving a little Cheryl too, honestly.
Let's not kill off all of the UK queens at once. Come on now. And you know what the worst part is actually, let me take this a step sooner. Her currency is the pound, right? You could have done something so campy and fun with that, just based on the name itself. So I don't know. Let's just move on before I have to cry.
There's a level of creativity that I'm really hoping that like there's a more okay. So let's just say really quick, between her and Nina, since obviously this is the point. There's a level of concept from Nina that I wish that Kitty would bring here because I'm a little worried for concept from her. I don't think we're gonna get it, but we'll see. It's still early. We've only seen 80 looks at this time in the first premiere, so we'll see. She still has time. Oh, next queen, Pythia. Um, I love this look. I don't know if this is necessarily Canadian, 100%. I don't know. I don't know the reference. I thought this was more of like a European thing, but who knows? But either way, it was really well executed. I love the shield. I love just the details of the diamonds that she has kind of around her face. I think everything's just it looks really good. It's just a really nice thing to look at. Overall, snaps.
This is really good. I love this. It's very fun. I'm not gonna say it's towards the top of my list because it's not, because there are just so many good looks here. But I really did love the look of this. It was well executed. Love the shield, love the trident. The boots and the rest of the dress, like from the waist down, were a little to me, but I mean, it's well done. It's so well done. So definitely a snaps for her.
Queen Kong. Um, I'm gonna slap her again. Sorry, Queen. I'm slapping a lot of the same hoes tonight. I don't like this at all. I don't know what it's supposed to be referencing. I don't get anything about currency whatsoever from it, I guess, other than like the gold coloring, I guess, of the inside fabric. But just I don't like the way that the colors combo here. I don't like the inside part of it, where it's just like the bodysuit. We see the is that her corset that we see again? I don't
I
know.
think so.
I don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm slapping her. I'm slapping you. Oh, hang on. I do love the huge cape. I do love that part. Everything else is slapping.
Yeah, this is definitely a slap. Like this was like, oh look, I have a reveal into like gold, and I'm like so rich, baby. And I was like, so the pink look initially was really good. I saw the gold collar. I was really excited for this reveal, and then it was literally nothing. It- I don't know. It was bad. And then someone else did a very similar thing where they just did gold, and it was so good, which makes this even worse. I do love her hair. I do love the start of this look, but the reveal is so let down. Like, ugh. It's gonna be a bit of a slap, but the first part was a snap for sure.
No, she still gets a slap overall. I do love the structuring of that first look. It does look good,
One
but
thousand percent.
and that person I think that did solid gold here was Miss Alyssa Edwards, who comes out next, and
It was.
I'm I'm going to give her a huge snap. I love this gigantic, kind of futuristic kind of style that she did here. I love the kind of the structuring on it, the way it kind of looks like it's like a kind of made from gold bars. I think that's kind of a really cool concept. I also really like the sleeves. I think the sleeves are really cool. How I didn't think that they moved first, and then she ends up like taking the card out and they moved, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Overall, huge snaps from Melissa. She's bringing some really good fashion for me this season, personally.
Alyssa, wow, you really outdid yourself, girl. This is definitely huge snaps. I love the flow of like the mermaid dress part on the bottom, from these huge like heart-shaped hips you have, these like almost ribbon bow like huge shoulder pads. The hair with okay, the hair being like lifted up by this head not headpiece, but the oh, what is that called? You know what I'm trying to say. She did this updo huge. It's amazing. It works so well because it takes the hair away from her face, so she has some room to breathe from these huge shoulder pads that are ribbon like, and the material too. Normally, I hate this material because of the way it like kind of wrinkles and stuff. The way that the artist, whoever made this, was able to use that actual weakness of this fabric into such a strength here is so good. This she looks like $1,000,000. She pulls out the gold card. She should have just pulled up the platinum or the black card, girl. It's so expensive. She's amazing. Huge snaps for the night.
Might gotta be Blackheart though. Can I
Yes,
also say
indeed.
too, I love the way that this stage looks on this outfit. Like the way that it picks up pinks and the purples of the main stage
Oh yes.
looks so good. Like I know she couldn't have planned for that, but wow, it does not look good. Huge snaps from Alyssa tonight. Um, Up next here from Drag Race Philippines, Miss Eva Le Queen, and oh my god, another one of my favorites here. I think I gagged a little bit when she walked out with the initial kind of like piggy bank kind of look, and then she had her reveal, and just the way that the reveal looked, just oh my god, this looks so good. Yes, it's kind of a bunch of sequins to some degree, but I love the whole package, the whole outfit. She sold it to me. Maybe not the strongest Eva look of the night here, but she's still painted so good. I love the hair. I love the way that how she has still so much of the traditional look here, but still looks so modern at the same time. Just snap, huge snaps from Eva. Definitely in my top group here.
Okay, so God, Eva did so well with this like reveal look, and she came down this runway, and I was like, I am gagged. I can't believe she's in this barrel. It's so good. I get the complete reference. I was like, yes. And then she comes out in a dress that looks very sequenced and not that great, but I see the Philippine like peso. I get what it was going for. I love the hair. Love the necklaces, love the gloves, love the earrings. She's painted for the gods. Her headpiece, obviously. The this is one of those again. The reveal was very underwhelming, unfortunately, but it was still a really good look overall. It was just unfortunately like it was a very like kind of big letdown in a way because it was like, man, this reveal could have been better. It could have been so much better, but still a good look.
I don't mind it so much here. I think that I kind of don't mind the fact that it I think for me the sequins kind of looking like coins, whatnot, kind of plays into the fact that she's a piggy bank kind of thing. So I think that's kind of why instead of like I prefer that over maybe like something a little bit more expensive looking kind of I guess. Because I feel like it references the original look that she revealed into. But I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
some
it
small
still
details.
snaps.
Yeah.
It's just like the placement of them are good, but again, it's not like a huge reveal, and like I was
Mhm,
expecting more. I just think they could have been better, but yeah, definitely a great look still for the night.
mhm. Well, let's go ahead and get to Miss Gala Varo and huge snaps again for me here. I don't know if there's as much of a concept necessarily with the look, other than the fact that she just came out here looking like the prettiest. What is she here? Whatever her local currency
Oh
is.
my
Um,
god! Say that again. What is the Mexican currency? What is the? We just talked about the Philippines peso. What is the Mexican currency?
isn't the peso the coin? Is it also the dollar
Peso is
bill?
the currency of Mexico.
Okay, well, you know what?
Oh
There
my
was a reference you didn't get
god!
earlier that I judged you on, so there you go, fine.
Which
Uh,
one?
I don't know. I'll go back to it and I'll
It
listen to it
definitely
and I'll edit
wasn't
it in
that
later.
bad. We are literally sharing a border with
You
Mexico. You
know
should
what?
definitely
We've
know
been
this.
almost talking for almost like 2 hours here.
I
I
don't want to
am
hear any goddamn
tired.
excuses.
I am tired. I
Just
am
continue with your
exhausted.
review of
I
this.
am just It's just, and everything about galas is just it's wearing me out to the point where I can't deal with life anymore. Okay, it's just so good. Snaps.
Gallo, uh, like it's beyond good. This is the best look of the night, and it's not even close. It's not a close race, let me tell you. The looks of the night were great, but this bitch, she took the whole cake. She took the whole stage of the runway. Everyone else had to bow down. This was amazing. This is fashion. This is this print. She is like the pesos. Like she is beautiful. And you know what I think I love so much? She mixes this fuse of feminine and masculine so beautifully. And the way that she looks with the gold trimming everywhere and just the flowiness of the skirt and the dress, and then it comes up and it's like, oh god, there's no way to talk about this like fashion orgasm that I we all just had simultaneously when we saw Gala come out here. And this is the reason why I will talk about it later, but this is why I could not believe she was not in the top as well. It was trickery at its finest.
I agree. Justice for Gala Varo. Absolutely. Next look up here was Miss Athena Likis, and um, give her a snap. This looks good. I don't know if I necessarily get the currency part of it. I think she just kind of came out with just like a bag kind of thing, and that was kind of a little like underwhelming. But I do like the iridescence of the especially the bottom part of it. I don't know if it's her shoes or just the bottom part of like the kind of train gown she's wearing. It's cool. I like the netting. Only thing that I'm kind of very about is the wig. I kind of wish she went with maybe a fuller wig, something. It's given a little eh. Um, but I think that's also kind of her wig aesthetic. I don't think she's someone that uses a lot of big hair. But you know, I'll still give her a snap.
Um, I like this. I think that there's something to be said about, I get it. It's a good look, but it could have been turned up, right? The notch could have been turned up. I like the colors. I like there's this texture going on. I love the like netted solder mold. Wait, soldering probably done here. It's very cute. Probably could have been a little bit stronger of a look, but I definitely still snaps. It's very fun. It's very cute. It's very reminiscent of like Lady Gaga, uh, in the face especially. Like I can see her wearing that.
Yes.
So definitely a snap, but definitely nowhere near. Especially, you know what the issue is too. She came out right after Gala. She had no chance in hell. She
Yeah,
was done dirty.
a little bit by editing, but also a little bit by herself as well too. But
Yeah,
not bad. It's just yeah, it's not a bad look at all whatsoever. It's just we've seen some very elevated looks in comparison. So um, up next, Miss Soa de Muse. I really like this look, and I like the backstory behind this look here too. It love the fact that she's just like there's just a level of campiness with that gigantic fucking shell on her head, and I love the hair. Like she's just, I really like the cutout at the side of it too. I really like it. It wasn't necessarily like maybe like high top here, maybe mid somewhere in the middle here for me, towards the top. I don't know. I really enjoy it though. I'm gonna wear a snap.
you know what? Snaps for Soa. It was very beautiful. Um, I love that she brought in her culture. We all knew exactly what this was. She explained it, and you saw it. You understood. The hair and the headpiece are both so amazing. I love that she's like draped in the shells. It's really cute. This feels more purposeful than just throwing coins on yourself. Like better than the reveal that Eva gave, better than Kitty's kind of thing, right? So I got to give the snaps for sure. It wasn't like the highest of the night, but it was very good luck nonetheless.
And just a very beautiful, simplistic look, I think. And sometimes that's all you kind of need. Um, up next, Miss Vanity Vain. Um, ah, I don't hate it. I don't necessarily like it 100% though. I kind of also I kind of I like the detailing. I'll start where I like it. I like the detailing of the bodysuit I think that she's wearing here. I like the gold and the white and the blue coloring all together. I think that's really cool. I like the fabric, especially with blue fabric. I really like. But just something about just everything together. I'm not necessarily sure if I vibe with it 100%, but I'm also not like it's not to the point where I'm like I would slap her for it. Um, it's, yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's just a lot going on here. I think that's probably maybe my issue. It feels very like it needs to be slightly more edited because it's like she has the strings in her face, and then like the big poofy collar, and then all this. It's just a lot going on. She has 8 crowns. I'm just like, there's a lot. I'm gonna give her a soft snap, very soft snap, but it's towards kind of probably the bottom of my snaps.
So I really like this look a lot. Actually, I thought it was really fun. I thought it was really good. Is it a little maybe on the more like okay, so it's very like monarch, right? It's it's good. It could be better. There are a few things I could touch up here or there, but overall I really enjoy this look. I love the hair, I love the crown on the crown on the crown. 3 crowns, really 3 crowns. Like this is great. 3 crowns. Loved this. Um I thought it was very fun. I mean, it's not good enough to put her in the top. Let's be 100% real about that completely.
Especially
Um
not with Gala's lip there too.
yeah, definitely not with the gals. I mean, look, it's not her fault. It's not her fault.
Mhm, It's
It's
not.
not her
It's not
fault.
her
Like
fault. It's
she wasn't
Rue's
the one that
fault,
chose to
damn
be
you,
the top.
Rue.
It's Ruse, 100%. So the 3 crowns is very fun. It's very like we know what the concept is supposed to be. It's well done. It's well executed. Like this look a lot. It's actually towards the top of my list. Um, I mean, as top of my list as it can be with so many good looks tonight. I should say. Let me put it like that. Um, but this is a very good look. Um, I loved it. Snaps for sure.
And our final look of the night, of our 36 looks. I think she was one of the first we talked about, the final one we will talk about tonight. Miss Miranda Shaniqua Lashane Beyond Lebeau. And she is, I don't know what currency she is. I think she's coming out as, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to even try to say. We've
Oh
seen
my
so much
god.
currency tonight that I don't even know. Is she another peso?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I didn't major in economics around the world, okay? I could barely
Oh my
balance my
god.
own bank account, okay? But whatever, I don't care what she is because she looks brilliant. She looks so good. I love the hair, I love the headpiece, I love just the delicateness of the or what are is this flowers she has around her, or they're more cat faces? I can't really tell. Whatever it is, looks good. Just looks so clean. I like the colors of the dress. Sparkles, I think, just the right way. She looks really good here. One of the top half looks I think of the night for me. Um, Miranda gets snaps absolutely.
She definitely gets snaps. Really, really good. Love this look. Love the headpiece where it was just the 4 different animals, and I love that she has the mask that reveals like from the cat to her actual face. There was a little bit of an issue, I will say, in the gold on her forehead for me, like trying to have that smooth into her head, but you know, um, overall, I'm not mad at it. Like I think this is a good look. It's definitely not like the top of the top or anything like that, but it's definitely a fun look. It's good. We get the well, the references are there. Let's put it like that. We get them. Actually, maybe not, but the references are definitely there. It's well done. It looks good. She's not going to be in the top, unfortunately, but good look overall. Definitely snaps for her.
Well, I clearly didn't get the reference, and I didn't take clearly enough notes as I needed to on this.
Well,
But we'll be more prepared for the next one, maybe. One
I
will be
mean,
another 36 looks.
if you want to know, let's just talk about it. The reference is that on the back of each of their like reels, I think I don't remember how to say it. There's an animal on each of them, and she has four of them, and
Yeah,
so
I
she
should
like
have paid more attention to the
I
runway.
think
By the
she
time she
had
came out, I think I
the
was just exhausted.
yeah, I think she had the turtle, the macaw, the jaguar, and maybe the lion or the bam. No, not the what was it? I can't remember the other one. The tamarin maybe. Yeah, the golden lion tamarin. Okay,
Oh,
so those were probably the ones she had. I didn't fully remember all four of them because I can't. I'm looking at a still picture here, but it was a great reference. It was very very fun, and I think it's like a great cultural thing. Like some people did not give us a cultural reference, like when we were looking at Queen Kong and uh
Kitty.
and Kitty Scott-Claus. It was like, where's the cultural reference to your currency? But like this was definitely hitting it out of the park, and I loved it. It was very cute.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it all is said and done here again, our win goes to Miss Eva Le Queen and Vanity Vain. Jack, do you agree?
Girl, no, are you kidding me? Take that shit outside. Take them lies out the fucking side. Are you kidding me? Are you gonna kill like what? You and I both know, and everyone else in this video knows for a fact that Gala Varo should have been in the top and over Vanity Vain. I don't know what they were thinking. Rue's on those enemas again, those coffee enemas with some crack or cocaine or something sprinkled in. I don't know what it was. But I realized what it was. The reason Gala does not make the final two is because of the lip sync song.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking here too, because I'm like, okay, well, she had the perfect opportunity here if they were planning on being like someone that they were gonna like make a storyline here for Gala. The fact that she gets to get once again judged by singer Donna, who was on her original season, and her song is the lip sync song. Her and what was the remix between I don't remember who, um, with Paranoia. I thought it was actually a good song. It's pretty catchy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it was fun.
really good. It felt like such a great way to set up some storyline here for Gala. And now I'm worried for Gala that they didn't give her an obvious top two performance and instead gave it to Vanity. So, um, I still think it was a good performance here. Jack, what was your thoughts on the lip sync between Eva and Vanity?
Well, once again, the winner of the lip sync was also rigged, and I was like, "What is this? Like, why are we rigging Vanity Vain to get the top spot in the lip sync?" Because clearly she didn't win the lip sync either, and I was like, "Damn." So first, we're not gonna have Gala in the top because they don't want her winning the lip sync. Okay, understandable to some extent, even though it's not. But I like understood logically. But then I was like, why did we give Vanity Vain a win in a lip sync that she didn't win? So I have no clue. The whole episode was a big old rigamoris, as Alyssa would say. So
Yeah, I mean, Vanity for me embodied the song a little bit, but Eva was just so sexy during performance. It was just hard for me to not focus on her. But I'm not as up in arms in her about her getting the lip sync win as am her just being in the top two to begin with. Because I thought her performance was pretty good. I see what they why they ultimately decided to give her the win, but it just seems again, yeah, you're right that it seems very strange that
I don't even know
Vanity
some of the
Vane
lyrics.
is now possibly is she our front runner? Is it official that she's our front runner here?
No,
Because I mean, yeah, I mean, I still kind of think Alyssa and Queen are probably the front runners, still along with Kitty. I would even say Nehellenia possibly could be a front runner. Eva is still a front runner here for me as well too. I don't know
I
if
would
I
say
see
Eva and
Vanity on that
Gala are
list.
still better. Like in
Yeah,
this group, it was those two.
but the only thing that makes me a little worried is that it comes down to Rue picking. So if it's like if Rue doesn't give people specific situations, it just makes me worried for their long term future here. So I'm a little worried here for Gala after that, but. Um, you know, one other thing I want to talk about here too, and I need to know your opinion here, Jack, 'cause it was kind of the second thing that was kind of set up for me that they didn't really touch as much, so it makes me wonder if it's still out there. But Eva, okay, right? She was given top two for this situation. She was winless coming into this season. Does this count as her win? Is her storyline over? Or does she need to get a solo win for this to count? Because I'm trying to figure out the math here in my head. Because
I think
I
she needs
don't
a
know.
solo win.
Yeah, I think she probably would need a solo win, but I also kind of can feel like they could might play on this here and be like, look, she finally got a win. But I'm like, but she didn't win the lip sync. So I'm like,
I mean, she did win the lip sync. They just didn't give her the win in the lip
well,
sync.
that's what I should say. Yeah, they didn't give her the
Am I
win
a
in the
little
lip sync.
worried that this is going to be a theme that we see another global, another, first of all, like, let's put it out there, another All Star season this year where they're going to not give the win to the correct winner? That's nerve wracking because we already have two All Stars this year judged by RuPaul that were rigged. So I'm like, nervous.
Yeah, roulette seasons don't necessarily have the best track record as far as everything goes here, but as far as everything goes that we got here from the first premiere, outside of maybe how the second episode ended, I'm still really enjoying our first taste of Global All Stars here, and I'm still very excited for the concept. Rue hasn't soured me on it just yet, especially next week because we do get the ball. I think is the first official elimination challenge. I'm so excited for that, but not excited for 36 screen caps. Also very excited because I think we officially will learn what the elimination method is. Did they officially announce it yet? I don't know if they have. Or do we have all stars rules? Is it a top two? Is it a bottom three? Or does the Golden Beaver back? Do you know what's happening, Jack? Have they said anything?
I don't know what is going to be the official eliminations for the Global All Stars. I hadn't looked up any spoilers or anything, so it's just something
Yeah,
that may or may not happen.
yeah, I'm
But I
kind of
assume
in
we'll
the
find
dark.
out.
Yeah, I guess we will, right? Do you have any final words, Jack, here as we hit the 2 hour mark and officially get into
Um,
our first week of Global All Stars?
just once again praying that we don't get a rigged season. A little nervous after that second episode. Really rooting for Alyssa, Eva, Gala, especially. I think those are my top three right now. Looking into everything, I think Athena and Nehellenia, I don't know if I said her name right, are two people to watch out as dark horses in the competition. I could also see Miranda doing quite well in this competition, just based off of initial what we saw in the first couple episodes.
I'm very excited just to see how everybody's going to do here. I think there's a lot of potential. Hopefully, and hopefully, what this really does here too is open up the franchises to a lot of people because I think what we've kind of discovered here is there's a lot of talented queens out there in a lot of these franchises if we are able to kind of make the time for them. And I know for a fact here soon I will definitely be tuning into Drag Race Mexico because Gala easily for me had the best premiere out of those that I wasn't as familiar with here. But I'm still again huge Alyssa Edwards fan, and also I do agree with you too. Eva is someone I'm absolutely watching here, but I guess we'll see how this all turns out, and I cannot wait to do so as always. And hopefully you can't either, especially if you made it this far in the podcast, y'all. Thanks again for listening, and please like and subscribe as always because it lets us know that you're enjoying the content. Be sure to catch all of our continuing coverage on Global All Stars, Big Brother 26, and the upcoming Canada versus the World 2 season finale. Cannot believe that season's ending too. Hashtag Team Lemon. Um, until next time, y'all, though. And on behalf of my co-caster Jack, this is Renegade signing out. But remember, keep spilling that tea, y'all. Bye.
Rigor Morris. Bye.